She's cursing, she's yelling, she's begging, she's crying. But unfortunately what no one can see is the fact that she's dying. The pain she's experiencing goes to the depth of her soul. It's buried down deep inside in an unfillable hole. And right now it's aching with an unbelievable pain. And her attempts to find her anesthesia have all been in vain. She walks up to a car and gives the driver a forced smile, but it can't hide the pain of not having used in a while. Of course he rejects her with too much disdain, because all he can see is addiction's dark stain. And she just spits back at him, cursing and swearing, while a person coming out of their house is standing and staring. She swears at her too because she knows what she's thinking, and it doesn't take much to see that she's sinking. But the neighbor doesn't like it and she starts putting her down, and now they're in a swear fest that just keeps going round. But what nobody notices is the pain that she's in, under the clothes that she's wearing, a body too thin. Nobody bothers to think about it, they're too busy judging. It's the attitude they hold on to and there's no way they're budging. And so she's been discarded, at least the little that's left, after the men in her life stole her sense of self in a theft. It started with her father, who always called her a bitch and told her where she belonged was dead in a ditch. She just wanted his acceptance, something she'd never get. And the cruel things he said to her were something that she'd not forget. And then there's the uncle who had sex with her as a child. He told her she was a whore who only deserved to be defiled. A teenager looking for love, she flirted with the boys, who only saw all young women as nothing but sexual toys. And then one night at a party, someone gave her a drug that suddenly felt like the warm embrace of a hug. And she was caught right away in the warm feeling of relief, in the drug that allowed her to forget all the years of her grief. But the drug was a thief, and she didn't see it coming until the addiction and the withdrawal left her heartbeat drumming. And her nerves felt like they were stretched to the maximum tension, and the fact that she was addicted was beyond her comprehension. All she had left to exchange for the drug was the cold pain of prostitution and the grave that it dug. And that's where I saw her that morning, stumbling on the street, where she was crying and screaming and swearing amidst her defeat, completely destroyed and torn up inside, with only her addiction to stand beside, inhabiting the lowest rung on society's ladder. I can't say I've ever seen anything sadder. But I realized she was invisible to everyone but me. I saw the image that clearly no one else could see. But more likely they didn't want to, because she was easy to dismiss. And if she disappeared off the street, she'd be no one you'd miss. But the pain that she reflected echoed deep inside me. I knew the feeling of that pain that had once threatened to divide me. It was the pain of addiction that had once clamped its teeth onto me. And like the pain of a death trap, it was one I couldn't see. I had barely escaped with my life, and I was seriously wounded, like an instrument that's broken with no way to tune it. But I got a break because I found my way out. But freedom was something she knew nothing about. Most likely she'd die one day overdosing on the street, or a violent John would beat her into her final defeat. Her future held no fairy tale endings, she'd lost her significance. And at the end of the day, she'd be marked by her insignificance. A tag tied to her toe was all she could hope for, because the pain of her existence left little to cope for. Caught in a living death, she was emotionally bleeding out on the street. The pathetic character in a Grand Theft Auto game that you get to beat. And how did we get so inhumane that we think this is a game? If this was your brother or sister, would you treat them the same? This is a measure of our inhumanity. that we leave our children to be taken, that there's a population in our city that we have just forsaken. The word of diction just allows us to discard them. The look of disgust is the way that we regard them. That way we can walk away and not give them a thought, and not recognize we've just left them in the pain that they're caught, nor feel any regret when they end up dead, because it's their choice to choose the drugs that they're fed. But that's a lie you tell yourself, and it's only a lie, because it's your inhumanity that set these children up to die.